Welcome to the Australian Open 2012, presented by Franklin Templeton Investments.
And welcome back to a gorgeous day at Melbourne as we reach just after 5 o'clock local time. It's our sixth day of competition, the conclusion of the third round. A couple of the top women's seeds fall. Ivana Raver, Bartoli, both top 10 seeds. They are out. Maria Sharapova, Anna Ivanovic have not dropped a set or even faced a set point. They are through. And everyone here is chasing the sun, but all the men are chasing one man. Novak Djokovic continues to absolutely dominate, winning today in just an hour and 14 minutes over Nicholas Mahut. And joining Mary Jo and I in studio is one Novak Djokovic. Welcome and congratulations. Another great victory, easy victory.
Thank you very much.
We were talking with Anna Ivanovic a little earlier, and she said the talk is, how many points are people scoring and winning off of Novak? No longer sets or games, points. That's a little ridiculous, right?
Well, yes, to be quite honest with you. But look, you know, I try to always perform my best, you know, regardless of who I'm playing against. And you know, I'm at the peak of my career. I feel that I'm playing the best tennis of my life, and I'm coming off from the best season in my career in 2011, where I won 3 Grand Slams, and I felt that I have even more confidence than ever, and then just improved my game, you know, by small margins in all shots, and I'm trying to keep it up.
A year ago, Novak, you talked about the improvements you made in your game. Technically, you said your serve, you had to work on it, and now it's become a weapon. What did you work on in the offseason after having the amazing season you had to get better for this year?
Well, the last 2 months of 2011 season was not really pleasant for me because I got injured in the Davis Cup after the U.S. Open, and you know, I had to deal with that. I had to try in my off-season to rest and to recover from that injury and to try to get back into the shape that I had for most of the 2011 season, and I'm happy with the way my first week went. You know, to see that I'm playing really well again, and you know, I had 5 weeks of preparation. I skipped the opening week of the season. I had lots of time to work on particular shots in my game, serve and return, and you know, being more aggressive and taking more chances going to the net. So I think it's working quite well for me for now.
It seems when you're out there you have such tunnel vision and you're almost in the zone. What does that feel like for a player? Because you're making it so difficult for your opponents to hold serve.
Well, yeah, obviously I think every player wants to be in that zone, let's call it, you know, because when you feel that, you know, a lot of times when you're playing, it feels effortless, you know, it feels that it's coming automatically, you know, that you're feeling the ball well, you're seeing it as a watermelon, the way they want to call it. But yeah, I mean, it's great. It's great when you're feeling that way. You know, obviously everything goes your way, and you're trying to keep it up. You're trying to keep that focus going because have to work very hard for lots of time in order to get that confidence level and to get into the zone. But on the other hand, you can lose it easily, so you need to be careful about it.
This is where it all started a year ago. And now the defense begins. How is it different coming into events defending as opposed to last year you just kept conquering?
To be honest with you, I'm not thinking about defending points. I'm not thinking about defending title. I'm thinking about winning title. You know, I'm one of the players who is here this week playing, trying to go all the way and win another title. So I'm not thinking about myself as a defending champion, somebody that has to be, afraid or scared of coming into the court and being beaten before the finals or things like that so I can drop the points and blah, blah, blah. I really, for me, that's something that would keep my focus off, and that would take a lot of energy and effort to think about those calculations. So I'm really trying to keep the simple approach to, day-to-day basis and preparing well, working hard on my practices and waiting for next challenge.
Well, your next challenge will come against either Raonic, the young Canadian with a big, big serve, or Leighton Hewitt, the former champion. What are your thoughts on those potential matchups?
Well, Leighton is, I think, playing one of the best tennis that I've seen him play in last two, 3 years, and it couldn't come in a better moment for him. He loves playing in Australia. It's, his home crowd, big support. They're playing a night match, so it's going to be a little bit slower conditions, which can go Leighton's way a bit, but again, it all depends the way Milos is going to serve, because he's one of the up-and-coming players who has been performing some great tennis in last year and a half. He struggled, unfortunately, with that injury that kept him away from the tour for a couple of months, but he's really tough player because he handles himself really well on the court. He has great composure, and if he serves well, he can beat anybody on any surface.
I have a question. It's a bit of a loaded question. We're a little anxious for the answer, but you're being hailed as the most dominant athlete in the world. Not just tennis player, the athlete in the world. I'm wondering, what's the best thing right now about being you?
Well,
that's a good one.
That's a good question. I should be careful what I'm saying here. To be honest, I don't want to sound, well,
don't worry, get it out.
I don't like to talk about myself because I really don't. Because I leave it to the other people, but the best thing is obviously just performing as well as I do, and being on the court. This is my job in one hand, but this is as well my love. I like and love enjoying every single moment spent on the tennis court, playing the matches on the big stage, and that's something that drives me to be, prepared and focused for every practice and try to win more titles.
That I had.
It's a decent answer. I know it's something you don't want to hear.
That was a very diplomatic answer. Very diplomatic.
Exactly.
Yes, we were this close. You're really getting something out of it.
I'll tell you when the camera is off.
Okay. I'll share it. We'll continue our live coverage, ESPN, Day 6 to the Australian Open. Okay, we're off. Go.